Hey everyone, I'm Angela Fazio. Right there is my beautiful co-host Sam Staskal, and we have an amazing, I'm a little biased, an amazing guest today on our show. She is Danielle Nielsen. She is my daughter, and she is a social media phenom, honest to God. So today she's going to be talking to us about Instagram in particular and Reels. So Danielle, give us a little background about yourself and get us started.
So essentially, I obviously grew up in the real estate space and then found that the real estate sales part wasn't really my jam, but I found a passion for the marketing side of it, specifically social media in the more recent years. So I essentially coach agents on how to effectively use social media to build their brand and increase their reach to get more clients.
Nice. Yeah, she made me get on Instagram.
But you love it now, so it works.
I'm no good at it, but I love it. Yes. So
I'm not very good either.
You're better than I am, Sam. You're way better because you do a lot of videos, but I'm behind. Catching up. So go ahead and give us your tips today that you've prepared.
So essentially, for people who don't know, Reels are essentially Instagram's competitor to TikTok, because Instagram saw that short form video that entertains people like TikTok did is here to stay, and it's what people love. It's easy to consume, and it's grown exponentially. TikTok is now the fastest growing social media app that has ever existed. So Instagram basically came out and said, we're done with making this a photo app. We want it to be videos. So Reels have only been out for less than a year, I believe. So essentially what it is they're they're max at 15 to 30 second videos. And their main goal is one of three things. They're either looking to educate you, entertain you, or inspire you. And that's your bread and butter as a realtor, is you're trying to build that know, like, and trust factor. I tell people, I don't love saying that social media is a prospecting tool, because I think that there are ways to use it to prospect, but it's not something that's like, it's not open houses. It's not, it's not making phone calls. It's not a necessarily income producing activity in its, basic form. So the way that you use Reels is to capture people's attention in a very short way, to then bring them back to your page, to follow you, to connect with you, and all of that. It's really to build that know, like, and trust factor. And you want to use that to your advantage, essentially. Because Reels are brand new to Instagram. Instagram is putting all of their energy into that. And that's how people are seeing the most organic growth, because Instagram and Facebook are not really known for organic growth in the last few years. It's really the only way that you're going to get new eyes on your page without paying for it, essentially. So it is something that people need to take notice of, especially if you have a platform on Instagram or you're looking to grow on social media. If you are not tapping into Reels, you are missing a boat that is not going anywhere. And especially if you get in early, you're going to be rewarded by Instagram, because they want people to stay on their app. And so if you're putting out that content that they want people to stay on for, they're going to show you to more people. I literally have an agent who's just only implemented Reels. It's the only thing she's done in the last 2 weeks. And she's up, I think, almost 200 followers. And literally in one day, she went from growing by maybe 3 or 4 people a day to, I think in the last days, has grown like 15 to 20 new followers, with 3 appointments of people looking to become agents because they saw her Reels. So to say that they're not effective would be a very terrible thing, because they really are working if you're doing it correctly, which she is. And so I'm going to kind of talk about some things that you can do to make sure you're getting the most eyes on your content, because people tend to kind of shy away from Reels because it's like, it's something new. I don't want to put my energy into this, blah, 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 whatever. real estate requires you to change and adapt, and this is how you have to do it. And so if you're going to sit there and say, oh, I don't want to put my energy into this, you need to. If you're on social media and you're not doing it, you're missing it out. So you have to be adaptive. You have to switch up your mindset. Reels are not something that overnight, tomorrow, you're going to get 25 new followers tomorrow. Like I said, she's been doing this every single day for 2 weeks. And so it's just kind of a numbers game. You just have to keep plugging in. So like I said, your Instagram content, especially your reels, need to be one of 3 things. They need to be educational. So they have to bring some sort of value. That's your trust factor, is that you're giving a realtor, okay, you're telling as a realtor your knowledge in a short form. So it needs to not be about you. It's what you're bringing to someone who's watching. Then it can be inspirational. So it's connecting you to your audience. It's making you relatable. So it's telling them a story. It's helping them to see, okay, how can I transform by using you? Here's a client that didn't know anything about real estate, didn't know that they, had all this equity in their home, that was a new home buyer. So you're showing them a transformation from, okay, they didn't know this, to now using me, they do know this. So you're making yourself relatable, you're connecting with people. That's your know factor. Then you're looking at the entertainment factor, which is what people typically know reels for, is that like fun and, dancing and whatever. And that doesn't have to be where it becomes entertainment, because it just makes people like you. So you're tapping all 3 of those things that essentially is going to make someone want to use you. And that's real estate across the board, is building that know, like, and trust factor, because that's what gets someone to say, I want you to sell my home, or I want to use you to buy a home. So you're building that factor. You are sharing different things about what you do. And that's the key thing that people miss, is because they see reels and they're like, oh, these are so fun and these are so funny, but how do I make them work for me? It's not just doing any reel that there is. It's not just saying, hey, I see this funny thing that everyone's doing and I'm just jumping on the train and doing it too, because that's what everyone's doing. You have to make it relevant to who you are and the niche market that you serve. So if you, are talking to moms, and that's a good portion of your, audience, and that's who you're trying to attract as clients, doing funny mom ones is perfect, because that's a connection. You're building a connection. I do mom ones all the time, and they always, for some reason, get more traction than anything else, because I think people like to think that everyone's the same. Everyone's dealing with crazy stuff. I did one the other day, literally took me 5 seconds, talking about how you could buy kids a ton of toys and they're still going to play with a water bottle or a remote control. And it blew up so much faster than one that I filmed and took hours on editing. And so it's just that building that really strong connection with someone in a way that, is shorter. And so there I tell people that you have to have it connect to one of the pillars that you use, the content pillars. I say to use 3 to 5, real estate being one of them. And there's so many different topics that you can do reels on. And I tell people the best way to find that out is to do research yourself and to take the time, which people say, oh my gosh, I could get lost scrolling for hours. Everyone can. You can get lost scrolling on Instagram for hours. That's the point. That's the whole point. That's what Instagram wants. So you need to capitalize on that. So I tell my clients, you take 15 to 20 minutes a week max, and you sit on your phone and you go through the reels and you scroll and you see what other people are doing. You get that inspiration. People are like, well, I don't want to copy people. You're not copying them. You're getting inspiration by seeing what's working, because you'll see there's certain audio and certain songs that are trending that people are using a lot. There's a little arrow that shows when it's trending. That's one of the big things to making sure more eyes are getting seen on your content. And you're just applying it to real estate. I tell people, you see those things, you keep a notebook. Okay, I like this song. I'm saving this song. I'm saving this audio. And this is the idea I have for it. I have a running list on my phone that's, okay, I've saved all of this audio. Now, how am I going to use it? because one of the biggest things is people are like, I don't have time to do this, even though we all know real estate agents have time somewhere and they're just choosing to use it elsewhere.
Right.
You're literally taking that and you're saying, okay, how do I make this work for me? You batch it. And I tell people, you spend an hour, 2 hours, and you literally during nap time, it's what I do. I literally that's why my hair looks the same in almost every reel, because I'm usually doing them all on the same day. I'm trying to change my shirt at least if people don't think I'm doing them the same day, but you know that you have to do it to be effective is you're taking that 1 to 2 hours and you're planning out exactly what you're going to say, from the audio to any like fun, like transitions you see, to the content, what text you're putting on there, all of it. And then it makes it so much more seamless, because people are like, I don't know how to start. You just have to jump in, because it's something that you're not going to get your like audio perfectly synced up when you see these people doing their lip sync. I can never get it right, and I'm just posting them anyway, and it doesn't matter. But you get better the more you practice, just like with anything else. But I'm not saying, okay, spend an excess amount of time learning how to do this. It's just something that you have to just kind of get in, watch other people, and just start plugging away and kind of taking your ideas and running with it. And that's exactly what I told you what that agent's doing. She literally just jumped in, started doing it, and is seeing the growth already, because she's super specific and using the things that make her stand out in her her different topics that make people connect with her. And that's why it's setting her apart. And it's not just, okay, I'm just doing these for fun and whatever. You're doing them for a purpose. You're bringing value, you're entertaining, you're inspiring, you're getting people to connect with you in a genuine way, essentially.
So what you're saying is there's really have heard a few steps. One, start watching reels so that you can at least know what the heck people are doing with them. And you can say, I know what I will never do on a reel. And I know, some things that might be more appealing. So you start there. That's step one. Then jump in by creating time blocks where you're giving focused attention to the content, and you're saying the music, the content, the words, everything, get it written down, and then batch your time to actually execute, and then just be consistent in that. That's basically what I've heard you say.
Yeah, no, 100% that. And it's one of those things that I tell people, if you really want to dial in on every single reel, there's framework that will work regardless of topic, regardless. And that consists of 3 things. And I tell people, literally, reels do better at between 7 to 9 seconds, which people are like, that seems so short. Yeah, people have the attention of a fish. They're literally, they're like, if this doesn't interest me, I'm done. I'm scrolling away. Like, I don't care. So I tell people there's a framework that will help your reels do much better than just your average one, especially when, we're doing it in a business sense where we're trying to attract potential clients. You have to do it intentionally. So I tell people the framework is, you have a hook. So it's, why are they going to watch you? You need to hook them in the first 2 seconds. You need to have the text on the screen that says, top 5 reasons to sell your home right now. And then people are like, oh, I would love to know what the top 5 reasons are. You have to hook them within those first 2 seconds. It's the intentional phrasing to get them to stop the scroll. Because as soon as they scroll, they're gone. So you may never get them again. So you hook them in the first 2 seconds. Then you're giving them a taste of how you're going to serve them in that short clip. Then the body of the reel is essentially the whole meat of the reel. What is the value that you're bringing? So in the sense of the 5 tips, so you're talking about the market, you're talking about interest rates, you're talking about all the 5 things or whatever the topic is, that's where you're actually putting your value to bring to people. But then the third thing I think is the most important, and if you do nothing else in any of your reels, you have to have a call to action. 100% with any type of marketing, especially a reel, having a call to action is what's going to get someone to follow you and actually make the difference. Because if you don't ask someone to follow you, they're not gonna follow you. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, that was great. I'll like that, and then I'll keep on trucking, whatever.
So how do you do that, Danielle? So for some people who maybe aren't familiar with what even call to action is, can you explain what call to action is and then give maybe 2 or 3 examples of some good call to action?
So call to action is essentially what someone now does. They just watched your reel. What do you want them to do next? Because people like to be told what to do. And so it's an intentional invitation to take the next step with you. And I tell people there's just a few different things that you can do. So you can either tell them, hey, follow my page for more real estate tips. Follow me to learn more about, what you can do as a potential seller, anything that's connecting them and telling them to follow you. Or it's telling them, hey, comment below if you have any questions, or comment below with someone that you think would find this valuable, or save this post to come back to. So you're telling them to take an intentional action to build either your engagement, your following, or there's what I tell people is the best one, because essentially none of us own Instagram. We don't own our followers. Instagram could go away tomorrow, is to get them off the platform. So if you're providing them a value that's off the platform and you're saying, hey, click the link in my bio or go to this website to get a free download of, what your home value is. A free,
Sorry.
To go to this website to sign up for my top 10 tips to set your home up for sale. You need to get them off the platform to build an email list into your CRM, whatever that may be. So those are kind of your 3 call to actions: engaging on that post, asking them to follow you, or getting them off the platform to your email list through your links, whatever. But that's crucial on any reel. Even if you're saying, follow me for more funny, videos, people are like, oh, okay, I'll go follow you. Because if you don't ask someone to do something, they're not going to innately do it. They're just gonna be like, oh, that was fun. And then they're going to keep on going. So that's, if you do nothing else on your reels, but tell people to follow you, that's where it's going to set you apart in the long term.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Not about that, but how do you feel about, do you make all of your reels right in Instagram, or do you use other apps? Because I'm horrible about recording them in Instagram. I'll record them usually with a Snapchat filter.
No.
And then I upload them.
So I do a mix. I think it's easier to do them in the Instagram app.
Okay.
Because you can save them as a draft and you can make them fit the music right in the app.
Okay.
But I do also use an app called Video Shop that I splice my photos and images together outside of it. The only thing that Instagram isn't so great with at this moment is that sometimes the audio and your voice don't sync up. And because you're making it outside the app, that's the one thing. So if you're making something, because I tell agents, okay, you like sharing your favorite places in this state, whatever, so that you can start attracting out of state buyers, then they're at a restaurant and they're filming clips and whatever, then you splice them all together in an outside app. And then you bring that video into your reels, and then you pick the audio that fits that kind of thing, whatever's trending or whatever. And then you can do voiceovers in Instagram also. So it's kind of a give or take. I do both. It just kind of fits whatever feels most comfortable to you. Because like you said, if you're not in Instagram, you're going to forget to do it. That's the whole thing.
True. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've heard from other people that you shouldn't use other platforms because it screws up the algorithm for how much views you get. Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about that?
Because Instagram has now come out and essentially said that their biggest competition is TikTok. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were bringing in their TikToks directly into Instagram Reels, which worked for a while. But now, because there's the little watermark that says your TikTok handle, Instagram will immediately bury it. And it will not be seen by the algorithm because Instagram doesn't want anyone to get off of, even though it's in Instagram views it that way. And so I just tell people, film it in Instagram, bring it into TikTok, or, film it whatever and save it. And then, because you can save within your, in the Reels setting when you're filming through the Reels like platform, you can save them as drafts, which I do as well. But I always tell people save them in there too. There's the little arrow to save them just like you would a story, because sometimes people's drafts go missing and then you've now lost all this work to do. So I literally have a folder on my camera roll that says Reels, even though they have no audio. I have a note on my phone which audio it connects to, so that I can go back and find it if that was something that happened. But I do save them as drafts in Reels as well.
One more question is, like, I don't know if it's still this way, but in order to do Reels, do you have to have a creator account, or what? Can you do it from a normal Instagram?
I am so glad you said that, because that is a big problem that people are having, is because as realtors, we automatically think we need a business account on our Instagram, because that's what we've been told. Have a business account on Facebook, have a business account on Instagram.
Right.
But Instagram, because they want people to use paid ads, they limit the audio and the music that you have access to. So you see all these people using these fun songs, and then you're like, I don't have these fun songs. I have these weird like instrumental things that are bizarre.
That's probably me.
And it's like, no, everyone says it to me. It's actually been a bigger problem than anything else right now. But people have to go in there and go to their settings and change it to a creator account and just say that they're an entrepreneur. And sometimes it lets you keep real estate in there anyway. But it's something that people aren't saying because they're not realizing that that's because everyone will go and they'll be like, what is this music? What is this bizarre garbage that I'm listening to? Like everyone has these like fun songs and I have weird garbage. And so it's literally, it doesn't change anything for you, because you still get the same analytics, the same insights, all the same stuff, but now you have access to better music.
So go ahead, Sam.
Okay. Now, I thought I read somewhere that once you get to 10,000 followers, you can include links. Is that right? So they don't have to go to your bio?
I'm not sure about Reels, to be honest with you. As far as, I don't know if you can link in Reels still, because you still can't really link in captions, which is still essentially the same thing. But it's kind of one of those things that Instagram is now testing out, giving links to people under 10,000 followers as well. It just hasn't been completely rolled out yet. It's not going to be a swipe up anymore. It'll be a direct link that people can put on their stories, which will be nicer, I think, than a swipe up.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Angela?
You got some good comments here.
Jackie's the one I was talking about.
I figured as
amazing.
Much. Yep, I figured as much. And then Linda thanks you, because that was her question about not being able to access trending music. I've heard that Reels allow you to swipe up regardless of followers. Is that true?
I haven't seen that yet. It may not be a feature that my accounts have. So it may be something that obviously Instagram is constantly testing out things to certain people that other people don't have access to. So it may be something that's coming down the pipeline. Like I said to Sam, I haven't seen it yet, but obviously Instagram does things that are totally different.
So I want to post a way that people can get a hold of you, Danielle.
Okay.
What do you want me to give?
Probably just my Instagram handle. That'd probably be the best one.
At Hello Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to get a hold of Danielle, follow her. I'm putting that up.
CTA.
What's that?
A CTA, call to action, direct call to action.
I just did that. Oh, look at that. Okay, so thank you very much. I swear I could listen to this for a really long time, because it's such a weak spot of mine.
Mine too.
And it makes so much sense. Every time I listen to you, Danielle, talk about social media, I get convicted. It's like the church of my career, right? Now I love Jesus. I'm not replacing him, but every time I listen to you, I'm like, all right, I'm convicted. I have to put more effort into this Instagram stuff. So thank you for that. It was awesome.
Of course.
Yeah, a lot of good tips. Thank you.
Yes. All right, you guys. go follow Danielle. Follow me while you're at it at Iconic Power Couple. And yours is Sam Sells, what is it?
It's Sam Staskell, keeping it real in real estate, I think.
Wow, that's this long.
That's long. I know.
Look for the longest one in Instagram. It's Sam's.
Yeah, I just look up Sam Staskell. It'll pop up.
Okay. So thank you again, Danielle. You were absolutely magnificent. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you later.
Thanks.
Thank you.